Welcome to Bothering the Band. Today we have a fantastic band called Felicity. They're an American hard rock pop punk band from Orlando, Florida, which to all the listeners out there, that's where Abby and I are from. That's where we grew up. So this is going to be a really special one. Give it up.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
Guys, we are so sorry about that. That's the first time that's ever happened to us.
It's not the first time it's happened to us. So
I believe that. But Becky's here yelling at us. We're like, oh my God, I can't believe we fucking did that. We were in the studio actually today, and then we were just fulfilling all of our merch orders because
packing everything up. It's tedious.
So DIY, you gotta pack and ship all your own merch. So we were like, oh, we'll do it tonight. We're free, and we totally forgot about this. So we're so sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all good. You have to send us some merch now.
Yeah, let's do it. Like I said, literally
make up merch.
No joke. Send us the address. We'll ship it out. We're already in the thick of it right now, so it's no problem at all.
Well, I have to tell. Is that a Forrest Gump shirt?
It is a Forrest Gump shirt.
That's a first. That's amazing.
Shirts every single day. It's pretty phenomenal. What did you have yesterday?
Yesterday was Dr. Phil.
Oh, that's pretty great. That rivals my Men at Work shirt. Do you know that movie Men at Work with Amelia Diaz and Charlie Sheen?
Mm-hmm.
I have that on a shirt.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get a lot of hyper targeted Instagram ads, and that's probably where I spend like the majority of my money.
Yeah.
And they're laughing because it's true.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for finally being here. We really appreciate it. My name's Ryan. This is my lovely producer, Abby. So this essentially, that's a good example of how this is going to go. We're not even going to cut that part.
Yeah.
Cool. We're with it.
No need to.
You know, super excited and humbled to have you guys wanting to talk to us. So we appreciate it so much. And 100%. Let's get rolling.
Are you guys, let me ask you this. Are you guys in Orlando, Florida right now?
We are.
It's fucking bonkers. We're both from Orlando.
We're like, what, 2 miles from the airport right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The old Conway area.
Nice. I used to live on Dixiebill and Gatwick.
Okay.
Oh, right around the corner. This is the hood.
So we're all right around there. And people listening to this who are not from Orlando will have no idea what we're talking about.
All right, so we do have some funny Orlando questions, but first question out of the gate. When's the last time you fell down?
Oh my God, too often. I fell in my pool a couple months ago. I was trying to skim my pool, and I don't know why, and I just took an extra step forward to get closer to reach something, and I just fell in. And thank God I didn't have my phone in my pocket or anything, but I was like, no one was around to see it. And I was like, oh, I kind of wish someone had, like, for some reason been filming me, because I could probably be like viral on TikTok or something. But yeah. So like, I don't know. It was within a couple months ago. I fell in my pool on accident.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that.
Oh, mine's not as cool as that. I was playing ultimate frisbee with some friends, and I just got tripped up with someone else's legs, and I did the whole like somersault thing. And then I turned into that like tumble kind of fall roll thing. So I tried to play it off, make it look cool, but no, I definitely ate shit. So it happens.
It definitely happens. Mine was this past weekend. I was in an Airbnb. It was like the middle of the night. I'm not familiar with this place at all, so it was super dark. Couldn't find the lights. Stubbed my toe.
Were you getting up to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. So
number one or number two?
Yeah, number one, number two.
That's classic.
Okay.
Oh,
say
that's
that
number
for
two. That's number two.
That's
number two.
That's episode
Is
two.
it a midnight poop?
Yeah, he had a midnight poop.
Yeah,
He eats a lot of cheese. It runs through.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
that's
Italian, so I eat a lot of cheese and
yeah,
dairy.
it was like soft cheese.
Yes,
You sleep so good after
every
it, though.
type of cheese, man. Every type of cheese. I don't. Yeah, it's all good.
Oh man, falling down in the middle of the night's no good.
In
very bad. Very
unknown
bad.
territory. You're just trying to take that midnight piss. And
Were you
stuff.
alone? Were you alone?
Your family was there, right?
Yeah, they were there. So yeah, I survived though. Like
He's a trooper. He's a real warrior. He's very brave and courageous.
All right. Cities or towns? You can only pick one.
Cities.
I'm city.
Cities.
I've lived in both, and I'm
Town.
cities. I left a town to go to a city,
Same.
and now I'm like, Maybe someday I'll go back to a town, but now I'm all city.
Yeah, there's more action. Things are happening where we're able to be like in a mecca of stuff occurring. And in towns, it's just can be more boring.
Solitude, a little bit more
There's
solitude.
more
I
solitude.
appreciate the solitude. That's why I'm going town.
Maybe when I
Solitude.
retire. All right, go retire.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. Well, I'll be in the villages in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the villages. I forgot about that. You're gonna
All
have
their
gonorrhea.
STDs.
Yeah, we're gonna have our the personal strain of the villages of STDs
We'll
that
have
goes
golf
around.
carts and gonorrhea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double G.
Double G.
That's the name of your acoustic album.
Yeah.
Golf carts and gonorrhea.
You guys heard
That'll
it
be
tonight.
that'll be
just put it as GG. Just leave it as GG and let
GG.
people wonder what it is, and then one day we'll be like, listen.
Mhm.
Not only is it golf carts, it's gonorrhea.
All right. So we talked about falling down at night. What's a lonely night look like for you guys?
Oof, a lonely night. I would say coming home without any plans at all, and no one's inviting me out. So it's just that acceptance of, well, this is what it is. And just surfing Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or Disney Plus or HBO Max and finding nothing.
And spending your whole night trying to find something to watch. Yeah.
Those are the loneliest nights.
Yeah.
Those are the
Or sometimes if I'm stoned, I'll watch like 5 minutes of 10 different things and nothing is mentally stimulating me enough into where I'm like, now I'm just going to bed.
Exactly.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad other people do that.
I know. We're together in the world. Yeah.
This is a revelation for me because I thought I was the only like just crazy person that was like, and then I always end up watching something I've already watched. Like,
Yeah.
Your Enthusiasm or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I guess I'll just-
That's a good go-to though. That's a good
your
show.
go-to like, there's nothing on. I'm just gonna throw on.
And Netflix has
Everything.
that new thing now where it says just play something.
Yeah.
Like, and I see that there and it scares the hell out of me because
No,
I'm like, whoa,
no.
you're
It doesn't
asking me to commit.
That's too much. That's way too much of a gamble.
You
And
can't
Netflix-
trust it. You can't
Netflix-
trust it.
Netflix now just wants you to watch like their original content. They like force feed it to you. It's like, do you want to
Yeah.
watch Goodfellas? Too bad. You have to scan through 70 menus of Netflix original content to
Yeah.
find anything that's not Netflix.
All the good movies expire immediately
Yeah.
too. Every time I want to watch something, it's always off on Netflix.
But are we gonna cancel? No.
So my
No,
my
no,
lonely
yeah.
night is the same as that, but also just with my cat. With
Yeah.
so it's a little less.
I'll go with my dog as well. Pretty similar to all of that. Yeah.
I have fish, so I can't really play with them. I can just stare at them. So that's even more lonely
You
because
touch
I'm
them
just.
you touch them sometimes.
I mean, if I'm cleaning the tank and I gotta take them out,
Okay.
I mean, you can't play with the fish.
Okay, we have to know, what are the fish names?
Well, okay. So the first one that's still alive, he's orange. His name is Reggie. The one that's blue is called Blue.
Okay.
And then the one that's
Reggie.
yellow, and I believe it's a female. Her name is Shelly, and she's named Shelly after Shelly from South Park because she's a bitch and she bullies the other fish and pushes them around. And then the one she always bullies is the yellow one, Wally, after Wally from the Pixar. And just Shelly's the bitch. So I have a separate tank that's the timeout tank. So when Shelly's getting a little too aggressive, I got to go in and get her. She's in the timeout tank for a few weeks. You put her in ISO, and then the rest of the fish, Reggie and Blue and Wally, they're all much happier.
All right. What's the? I don't know how to follow that, but what's the cat's name?
Exactly. I know exactly.
Oh, the cat's name is Jules, which is short. He's actually a male. He's named after Julian, which is short for Julian Edelman, because I'm a big New England Patriots fan, and that's my favorite player. So yeah, that's my cat Jules, and he is a stray cat that I found in a parking garage in downtown Winter Park. This little stray kitten ran up to me and like started like almost like climbing my leg, and I was like, I own a cat now, and that's it. It's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
Dibs on this cat.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah,
nice
just a
cat.
stray Orlando cat. You see him,
Great
stand
cat.
around.
Super strong. You made him strong though.
It's like
Yeah.
the movie Keanu. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that. And then what's the dog's name?
The dog's name is Major. He is a mini Australian Shepherd, and he's from Missouri. Just to let you know.
So he's a Missourian
He's
shepherd.
a
And he
Missouri
has
dog.
massive separation anxiety.
Yeah, he has really bad separation anxiety. It's a problem. These guys have seen it when I've brought him here a few times.
No,
I don't know how to
the,
stop
the,
that.
signature, the signature time was when we were at the pizza place and Damien got up to go to the bathroom and left Major tied up to my chair. It's a small dog. It lost its mind,
Not
just
that small.
yelping,
It's
pulling the chair, literally acting as though he had just been abandoned on the side of the road. And Corey and I were like, what is wrong with this dog?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with him. He loves his owner. He's a great dog.
Yeah, everyone like you love that dog. That dog loves you. Everyone else is like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, probably.
Damien, come back. The dog's freaking out.
Yeah, it is really bad. I'd bring him to the bathroom if next time I'll do that.
Oh my goodness. I just realized I should be drinking Zephyr Hills right now.
That's very Orlando of you.
Yeah, it doesn't correct.
That's my favorite one.
Fish. I should have done that. I have some. What is your favorite music venue that no longer exists?
Wow.
This could be anywhere. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, that no longer exists.
Yeah.
What was cool and is now
I don't
gone?
want
Well-
to marry out of Georgia.
No,
Oh,
fuck that
man.
place. Fuck that
Oh,
place.
okay.
That place was dog shit.
Um,
Back in Gainesville, I went to,
That's a
yeah,
great one.
back in Gainesville, when I was going to college there was a bar called 1982, and it was just that perfect middle of the pack kind of venue where like Mayday Parade came through there one time.
Oh, wow.
And Newfound Glory played there once, but they changed names multiple times, and we played there with one of the later iterations of their names, but they're closed now. And it was just like a really, really cool small divey spot in a college town.
Yeah, they have video games as well.
The
Like,
video
that
game setup was very
that
cool.
awesome.
Yep,
That was
yep.
very
I don't know
cool.
that place. Where was it in relation to Leonardo's?
Ooh, same street. It's on Main Street, maybe down, maybe 3 blocks further towards downtown from Leonardo's, which is unfortunately closed now.
I know. The first vegan anything I ever had was at Leonardo's. And I remember being like, what? I don't think I pronounced it right either. This is in like 99 probably.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
Yeah, I know. That's a great pizza place. I have been there countless times.
Your rivals with Abigail here, who is a Seminole.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's all right. Yeah, it's fine. We've had more football success lately, I guess.
Not
Yeah.
overall. Not
Overall, I mean,
Oh, that's
yeah.
a true statement. I'm a
That's
knight,
right.
so I don't.
Yeah, you can't even have nothing to say in any of this.
I lie on my resume and say I went to UCF.
yeah. I mean, no one will ever look at that.
No.
If you were in HR, would you I'm going to call the school and double check they actually went there? No, you wouldn't.
They're a
Of
knight.
course you
I
wouldn't.
did go to Valencia though.
Yeah.
I finished Valencia.
Ah, nice. I took classes there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Shout
good
out.
old Wholesale University. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I probably paid a lot of money to get that degree. Okay.
You did.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
music
yeah.
venues.
Music ratings. Okay, so I mean, I feel like everything in Orlando is still existent.
Yeah,
What's
However, I will say there was some magic about Back Booth before it became Soundbar. It's better now.
True,
It's
true,
better now.
True.
It's better, but there was something magic about there just being like
A coziness to it.
3 inches of water on the ground at all time, and
It wasn't water.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely wasn't
Um,
water. But that's
And
that's
just
magic.
part of the stage is just blocked off, and there's this area of just nothing. No standing, just nothing is there. And since they've knocked that down and opened up, it's been way better. But
it's no, I
yeah.
love it still, but like there's something
Yeah.
about going to see a band that you really want to see
Yeah.
at Back Booth because it felt so much more intimate back then,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like just shittier in a very unique, fun way.
Shittier.
Um, Now I still love going to shows there, so it's like better. The sound's better, the stage is better, it's cleaner. So,
Yeah.
but there was some magic about going to play Back Booth, and our first time playing Back Booth, we were like really stoked.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would say
Bombshells, right? But that's
Bombshell's
still
still
exists. Is that
going.
still
They're
exists?
still going.
The
and I-
dungeon. the
that's
dungeon's
definitely not my
closed.
favorite place.
Was it Now Center?
I don't know. No, it's always been that. Okay, so I feel like the Social used to do a lot more shows, and I don't even know if they're a music venue anymore. But it used to be amazing. I used to
That's
love going
true.
to see bands at the Social, and I feel like I don't remember the last time a band I wanted to see was at the Social. It's been years,
Yeah.
Socials are good.
It's a shame. It's a great
but I
spot.
think they're still doing something.
Yeah.
Or do we get everyone with the venues?
Damien,
Yeah,
what
I'm
about you?
gonna go with that too. Yeah, I think
Just gonna
sounds,
piggyback.
Back Booth, like just there was something about it. There was like an intimate vibe to it, and I
Yeah.
definitely missed that kind of. But it was shittier, but I still liked it.
But we don't have to go Orlando on this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
CBGB.
CBGB. That
I went once.
I guess
That's
there,
just-
I mean,
that's
we never
historic.
got to go to it, right? But it was always like a goal for us to play the original Masquerade,
yeah.
right? And we were always like, we're gonna play, and we did get to play Masquerade, but it was the new Masquerade. It was like last year or 2 years ago. So it's like we're playing Masquerade, but we're not playing the Masquerade that's like the iconic Masquerade. So I mean, that would definitely be one that I'm like, I regret never being able to either see a show or play a show because I've heard it was awesome.
Yeah, Masquerade's great. Yeah.
Do you guys, I don't know how old you guys are, but do you remember, Abby, I'm asking you too, do you remember there was a place in Altamont called Club Embassy, I think it was?
They did teen nights too.
And when I was a kid, that's where you saw like Boston's and H2O. And
Oh man.
who else did I see there? I don't, just like a ska against racism tour or something was there.
I think Catch 22 played there.
Oh.
It was deep, and you had to like, it was so far too, and you're like,
Yeah.
Mom, drive me to the show.
Yeah, there
That's
was
a hike. Yeah.
I remember every now and then you'll see shows pop up at some venue in like Longwood, and I'm always like, let's go to Longwood. We went to a show in Sanford, and the venue was awesome. It wasn't West End because West End's great.
Not
There's
West
this venue called Tuffy's in Sanford. If you guys ever get a chance to go check it out, it's insane. It's insanely cool.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on a music. We talked to Orlando. What's the most influential Orlando band in your opinion?
Ooh,
This is a tough one.
influential Orlando.
Specific to
bands.
Orlando.
Yeah. Who's really wowed us? Who's from here? Amberlin's from here.
For me, I mean, does Creed count? Because like when I was a kid, like I wanted to play guitar because of Creed.
That's true.
Creed was the band for a while, like biggest band in the world for a little while.
Maybe,
And if anyone says like, oh, I don't like Creed, it's like at one point you liked Creed. Like you're lying to yourself.
maybe
There was
Backstreet
a,
Boys, though.
Backstreet Boys. wow.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys is
True. Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, We the Kings is from
We the
Orlando.
Kings, yep.
Amberlin, yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
Amberlin's from
Is
Orlando.
it Skinner?
No, they're from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah. Skinner's
I
Jacksonville.
was gonna say, A Day to Remember is like pretty
Ish,
close.
yeah.
Pretty close. They call Orlando home now, but I mean, suburbs.
I'm gonna go with Backstreet. I gotta go with Backstreet. 'Cause,
that's a good one.
And fun fact, one of the co-founders of the Backstreet, I taught his daughter in middle school. So I was a middle school math teacher, and I taught like the co-founder of Backstreet's daughter. And one time I went to tutor her, and the 6-time platinum thing of just commemorating whatever record that was just in their laundry room on the ground, not even hanging. And I pointed this out, and the dad's like, "Oh yeah, that's been there for over years." Okay, cool.
Can you imagine being like that big? You don't give a shit about like a platinum,
Yeah.
like a quadruple platinum record. Like it honestly makes me mad. Like F you.
Yeah, I know. It was very frustrating to see that.
Oh, I'm so whatever.
Yeah,
No one said Quad City DJs.
No.
Oh,
that's
that's
DJ.
Or Matchbox 20. Also.
Oh, they from Orlando?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I never
didn't
knew
know
that.
that. I didn't
See,
know
I
that.
learned that today. So
Rob Thomas, all of
that
Seven Mary
changed things.
3.
Okay, Creed and Matchbox 20 were both respectively on top of the world around the same time.
Yeah.
And I was listening to both of them very heavily, I would say, when I was a kid. So
Yeah, Matchbox was probably on the radio more, so I'd go Matchbox.
Yeah.
And I love Rob Thomas, so I'd go Matchbox. I'm cool with that. That's a good band.
Yeah. Isn't Seven Dust and Seven Mary 3 both from?
Seven Dust is Atlanta.
Oh.
Seven Mary 3 might be.
Seven Mary 3,
No.
I'm not sure about.
I believe 7 Mary 3 is Jacksonville. They're northern Florida region.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, if we're doing Northern Florida, Limp Bizkit, right?
yeah, I mean,
Like,
North Florida Limp Bizkit, it's Limp Bizkit territory.
Oh man. That's the second time Limp Bizkit came up today.
7 Mary 3 actually claims Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh,
oh man,
oddball
great
place.
town, great town.
Yeah, they really love Colonial Williamsburg
I love Colonia. I would travel
Right.
there as a kid. Like
and Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
Yeah,
Busch Gardens
Busch
there?
Gardens.
I've been there.
It's the European one. I love it. It's my favorite gardens.
Do you have any bad habits?
For sure.
We have old habits.
Yeah, we won't have it.
I'd probably be better off naming my good habits. Yeah.
I can get into binges of junk food pretty easily.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
pretty bad
binge
habit.
eating.
I'll binge eat a lot of junk food.
I bite my fingernails like to the point where I'm bleeding, like
That's pretty bad.
pretty often,
Yeah,
and
that's a
that's
pretty bad
that's not a good habit to have.
TikTok is a bad habit of mine. So
Oh,
I could get in the black hole of TikTok and I just stay there for hours. I think that's a bad habit. So
Sometimes at the end of the week, I'll look at my phone screen time and I'll be like, "Fuck,
Don't do it.
problem."
well, it's like 24 hours.
I wish I could turn off them letting me know, like, so I just wouldn't feel bad about myself all the time.
Just
But,
don't look at it. You can't look at it.
Yeah,
resist the
it's
urge
true.
to look at it.
I know.
I'll procrastinate when I have plenty of time to do things. If I have too much time, I'll procrastinate more time so that I have less time to do the task because I don't need too much time. But if I have too much time, I'm going to waste a lot of it.
That makes sense. That's a very honest answer.
It is very honest. I can get everything done early.
As a teacher.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
As you can see, some of these questions have they are tailored to you guys. So the whole
Okay.
record,
We like that.
that's where this comes from.
I love it.
You know, back to Florida. Have you ever done drugs at Disney? This is an Abby question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I pretty much can't go to Disney without doing drugs anymore.
No.
Cocaine.
Not like drugs. Like drugs with a lowercase.
Worst one.
No, we've definitely snuck in edibles. I've snuck in joints before. That was very sketchy that time with Tyler and Corey.
I remember you very scared
That was smoking joints, man.
Well, so we snuck them in and we got them into two. We were hopping parks as well. So just a different person carried each time to just share the risk. And
Smart.
I know. So and the first two times were a little dicey. The third time we're going into Epcot, the sun is setting. Tyler goes, "Let me take it this time. You've taken it the last time. Let me just take it this time. I'll hide it in my belt buckle." And I'm like, "You know what, Tyler? Let me just do this one last one and we'll smoke this joint when we get inside." I walk in effortless. The joint's in my pocket. They didn't do anything to me and I carry on my way. I look around, I'm like, "Where's Tyler?" I look behind me. This motherfucker was being patted down by two guards. They're asking him to take off his belt where he was going to hide the joint, empty his pockets. And I mean, he's tatted up, so he looked the part of somebody who should be stopped. But if he had taken the joint, game over. Would have been game over. Yeah. And when he came over to me and I saw him like just sweating, just realizing, I'm so glad I didn't do that. And I said, "We're going to smoke this and then never again are we doing this shit. We will bring edibles from here on out. We are not bringing this in again."
Yeah,
or
pen. Yeah,
or pen.
The pen is the move.
This was like 5 years ago. So yeah, we weren't on the pen life at that point, but we were daredevils. We were daredevils.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of City Walk for smoking a blunt, like on the people mover things where you walk from the parking garage to
In the garage.
Wow, how'd they find you there?
Oh, we were smoking a giant blunt. And it was in the middle of the crowd. A bike cop.
Middle of nowhere, you know, the people mover at City Walk.
Yeah.
Very low traffic area.
What was the last gift you gave someone besides gracing us with your presence on this podcast?
Oh man, I was gonna say that.
The last gift
I gave Corey a set of Star Wars soap.
That's right.
To thank him for all the pre-pro he did that we're not using.
That we're not even using.
I saw a hyper-targeted Instagram ad to go full circle to the beginning of the conversation, and it was for Star Wars soap. And I was like, I'm buying this for myself, and Corey would probably like it too. So I bought a set of Star Wars soap.
Nice.
Go ahead.
One of my friends had his birthday late May, so I got him the book "Who Moved My Cheese." This is a book that I also gave Damien, and Damien left it at his ex-girlfriend's place. But
Scott, you're never getting that.
I know, never getting that book back. But it's a good way to. I wouldn't say it's like a self-help book, but it gives you perspective on just what to expect in your life. And it's a book that a lot of companies have their employees read just to kind of know, like, the whole idea is 2 mice are in a maze and the cheese moves. And they have to find the cheese. But it's the metaphor of finding what you want in life. And I gave that to one of my friends who is kind of at that spot where he needs to figure out his direction.
It's right here, man.
Yeah, dude, I mean, come on.
That I gave you that to read. You never read it, and you left it in Cole's
I read a
place.
couple pages. It was great stuff.
Abandons the book at his ex's place. I never.
What was the last gift you gave?
What did I think my mom wanted some sunglasses, so I got her some nice sunglasses.
Oh, lame.
That was it.
What kind of sunglasses?
What kind? I don't know, some Amazon pair that she was like, I really like this. And I was like, all right, I'm getting it for you.
Amazon Basics.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
Wow.
She lost it actually recently, so I'll have to buy her another pair.
Back to the Star Wars soap. Star Wars comes up on this podcast so much. Do you guys know that? I'm assuming you know Yellow Card.
Yeah. Of course.
We interviewed Ryan Key, the lead singer of Yellow Card. He, along with the bassist from Bayside, have a Star Wars podcast.
Wow.
That's
It's called Thanks the Maker. Shout out to Nick and Ryan. Thanks for doing this podcast.
That's
I gotta get. That's the reason I'm saying this. We got to get them that fucking soap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's Dr. Squash, just now that I've said it around your presence, you're probably going to see an ad for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So-
fucking, dude.
But yeah,
it
it's
smells
actually
great.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
I actually
Dude, let
used
me
it and I was
Dr.
like,
Squash. I'm gonna put my phone up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, me and Mike and Corey and Tyler, who are not here, we are all huge Star Wars fans. Damon is not a huge Star Wars fan,
No.
but the rest of us
I'm
are
a
big,
fan, but
big.
not as much as
Yeah. Like we're all pretty obsessed with Star Wars, and
Yeah.
we go on. If we're on a road trip, we'll just be like venting and talking shit about Star Wars on tour and talking for hours and hours about Star Wars theories.
Go to
and
midnight
stuff,
premieres of the movies and just nerd out.
Mhm.
Well, I have to. I'm gonna bump this question up. What's your favorite Carrie Russell film?
Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. Because I don't think I know any more that she's in, other
Shit.
than being Felicity.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the correct answer. We were trying to throw
Yeah.
you for a loop.
I'm trying to think of any other movie she's
That's the
in.
thing. I can't.
Well, she's in Waitress. She's in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. She's in Mission Impossible 3, and then Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. And that's all I wrote down.
That's the best.
She's
yeah.
in MI3?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
she is Tom Cruise's girlfriend.
Oh.
I remember that now.
We
And
both
she-
couldn't believe the Skywalker. We were like, "What the fuck?"
And it's because J.J. Abrams was the creator of the show Felicity.
And he directed Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah. It all comes.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Wild. So we had to ask a Felicity related question, but we just didn't want to go right on the fucking notes.
I love it.
That's fine.
I love it. We don't even, none of us have even really seen the show, I think.
No, I've never watched it.
I've watched a few.
When we named the band this, I was like, there was a TV show, but I don't think anyone cares about that anymore. And now,
Few and far between people are
They're
like,
bringing it back.
after the TV show? Like,
Yeah.
no. we're not
Oh, that's
doing it.
good. I'm happy not every dum-dum says that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They usually think it's someone's ex-girlfriend, but
Yeah.
no.
Or the American Girl doll.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, American
Another
Girl
big
Yeah.
How, how do you know that?
one. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, he has the collection before the band started, so
I'm a
it's,
big-
Yeah, you're not into Star Wars, you're into American Girl.
I'm
Yeah.
more of like the American Girl doll things. I don't know. I'm weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I have a 7-year-old daughter and I don't even know. Man. Okay, real dumb question. Orlando Bloom or a bloomin' onion?
ooh, wow.
Bloomin' onion. Bloomin' onion. Sorry.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm also gonna go blooming onion
It's
because
so delicious.
yeah,
I think Blue and Onion, delivers more often than Orlando Bloom delivers.
yeah, Orlando Bloom,
Orlando
Legolas
Bloom and
Legolas
Deliver
is a badass.
great character.
Legolas. That's the only one.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates
I mean, it's
That's pretty
great.
much it.
Pirates is great.
That was Johnny Depp.
It's kind of where you draw the line on the Orlando
The thing
Bloom.
is, and my brother's talking about this. My brother was in the acting scene briefly, and he's like, I don't like Orlando Bloom. He got big out of nowhere, and he's not that great of an actor, and he got handed a lot of things, and he just rants about Orlando Bloom. So I have to side with family and say blooming onion.
Blooming onion.
Nice.
never disappoints, and Orlando Bloom does disappoint.
It's true.
I want to say that this came from like, oh, I did my research and I knew your brother hated Orlando Bloom.
That's
not-
perfect. No, it's perfect.
Oh, you talked to them before this.
Yeah.
Good job, Joe.
Really good research.
Yeah, we're hard-hitting journalists.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you have braces as a kid?
No.
I did.
I
did.
not. Oh, I got to see these pictures because I didn't know
Wow.
that.
He was a
I'm
metal
just-
mouth.
You're making me learn some new
He was
things
a
about
metal
you
mouth.
right now.
My braces story is I had braces. I remember as a kid wanting braces. Don't know why. I was like, I want to have braces. And so then the dentist was like, guess what? You need braces. My parents were not stoked about it because it's very expensive. So I get braces and then I get the retainer. And I'm probably in like 8th grade, maybe a freshman in high school. And I take my retainer out because I go to the movies and I'm eating Milk Duds. And I'm like, well, I can't eat Milk Duds with a retainer in my mouth. I take the retainer out and I drop it on the floor and I cannot find it. I cannot find it. And me being like, whatever it was, 15, the social anxiety of asking a movie theater attendant to help me find my retainer was so crippling that I just went on with my life and never wore it again, never thought about it ever again. And just my teeth went back to the way they were, basically, because I couldn't deal with the social anxiety of having to tell a movie theater attendant that I dropped my retainer and could they help me find it.
Well, I think it's fucked up that they're like, wear these metal things in your mouth for 4 years and then also wear this metal thing on your mouth forever. Like,
Yeah, I made it like 2 weeks and it was like, well, that's over.
now, wait, out of you, who's the lucky bastard that didn't have braces?
We
And
both did not.
we both did not. Did you have your wisdom teeth pulled?
Yes.
I did not have my wisdom teeth pulled. I still got them. Got all 4.
No.
Do you think you'll ever have to get them pulled out? I don't know about that.
The last time they checked, they're like, if nothing hurts, leave them. So yeah, got lucky. Got super lucky.
I did not. I had to get those out, and that fucking hurts.
We need to see the big cheek picture. Did you have big cheeks? Was there a picture taken of the big cheeks?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think I have
There's
a picture.
Sorry,
There's-
no one's
there's
getting
pictures.
any pictures at that moment. Sorry.
They exist.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mike, if you do get them out, you'll get some pretty dope drugs for afterwards.
Ooh.
So
You do feel a certain way.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
bring them into Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
easier.
nice.
now we're talking.
Now it's
There
easier.
it is.
Drinking around the world with some of that.
Yeah.
You're like, why is that guy sleeping on the bench? Like,
Basically.
not loving Disney at all.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of weather?
God, I lived in. He's originally from New Hampshire. I'm from Maine, and we moved to Florida to avoid any cold weather. So
That's true.
my favorite type of weather is I'm a sucker for a good thunderstorm.
Yeah.
But also
I was gonna
living in
say
Orlando, it's like, well, it's too much. It happens too
It
often.
does happen a lot.
But a good thunderstorm is awesome, especially if you're like, in the mood for a good thunderstorm. Like lazy day, well, I was gonna have all the shit to do, but look, it's a thunderstorm, so it's gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Being in Orlando, I relish in the days when the humidity is at its lowest. So it doesn't necessarily have to be insanely cold out. If it's like an overcast day and 78 degrees, but the humidity is just nice and low, that's the perfect weather that I'll go for.
I'm pretty close to that. Nice sun out, cool breeze out. I'm good with that. I love going to the beach all the time, so I don't like all the rain. It's always fucking raining here every single day. So
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
lived
You guys-
in
you
it.
guys
They
already
know.
Like literally every single day, there's like a storm that just literally when I was driving back from St. Augustine this past weekend, there was just hail, like
Wow.
storming, going crazy, like a lightning bolt hit like one of the electric lamps or something, freaking hit it, exploded. I was like, man, this. And then in 10 minutes later, the weather was fine. So
So clear.
so weird.
And then
so
it's humid as fuck.
yeah, that's a horrible thing too.
My friend Greg was in St. Augustine this weekend. Did you see him?
Maybe I think there was one guy that was like he was like I think his name was Greg, so probably yeah.
He's black.
Black. Do you know Black Greg?
Yeah, Black Red.
We call him Bleg.
Yeah, that.
Call him
I don't know if
Bleg?
what do you call him?
Like,
No, I'm sure I was having coffee with them at some point. So
People ask me, what's the weather like in Orlando? I'm like, like when you put a bag of frozen vegetables in the microwave, and it's like, they get filled up. It's like being inside that,
yeah.
like 4 months of the year.
It's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good
steal
help.
that.
interesting.
I'm gonna steal that, but I have to disagree with you and say it's like 11 months out of the year.
Okay, yeah.
11, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, just-
All right. Music question. How do you guys decide to bounce. You guys walk this great line of like more harder music, like closer to metal or melodic metal, and then you have this like catchy, more punky vibe. How, like, just walk us through that process.
It's been kind of an evolution because we started off leaning on the pop punk side a little bit more because most of the influences that we collectively shared were in that realm, and things kind of got a little on the heavier side as time went on, but we also needed to release music and get feedback to kind of know what was hitting and what was sort of missing. So as time has gone on, it started with that pop punk phase, and then it kind of shifted in the more harder rock genre, I would say.
Yeah, and our first like real, the EP that we all took really seriously, and it also had pretty much the lineup that we have now. The first music we ever released, we had like really no idea what we're doing, to be completely honest, even though we'd all been in bands together, in different bands over our years, but it was our first band all playing together and we're like writing music together. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we definitely were like trying to write pop punk music. And then we went and worked on a 4-song EP with Andrew Wade, who's from here in Orlando, and he records, Day to Remember and Real Friends and Wage War. And we just ended up writing a pretty heavy song with him. We had written it and it became heavier when we produced it with him.
Yeah.
And people just ended up loving it. It ended up becoming the song that we closed our set with.
Yeah.
So then we went to do another EP. We're like, well, maybe we should do more stuff like that, but we're still all pop punk kids at heart. So we kind of split it in half. And then it's kind of just evolved from there, where it's like, get you a man who can do both.
Yeah.
Because we do have people who just love our like pop punk songs, and then like if you listen to like our top played songs, like it's a weird balance of like people like both of it or one or the other. So it's just kind of been who we've become, and it also caters to our music taste too, because we all have such a crazy eclectic background of bands we all listen to. Our drummer has been in death metal bands before, and I grew up like listening to classic rock, and Damien's grew up in kind of like really into like grunge cover bands in your first band experience. So it's like kind of all just hodgepodge together and been some type of bastard love child of pop punk, catchy pop punk songs, and then like pretty heavy songs. And we're actually recording a new record right now, and it's like, well, it seems like it's kind of still going in this direction, but we kind of just write music that we want to write and that we want to listen to, and this is kind of just what comes out the other end most of the time.
And we're a live band too, where we just love performing and stuff like that. So having these different styles and being able to like play something like this and then break it up with a metal song, go back to a poppy song, then go to something like You Got This or Lonely Nights. For us, it's super fun to do that live, because it kind of like rejuvenates us in a spirit where we're not doing always the same thing, and it becomes like monotonous. So it allows us to have that creative feeling on stage too, which I know like all of us like collectively thrive in. Like so.
You don't go to hear the band, you go to see the band.
Yeah, that was a fantastic collective answer.
Wow.
As like music geeks, I know I'm speaking for Abby here, like that is what every fan wants to hear, is that the band you're paying and you love that, but they're challenging themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, in our jam room area, we have mirrors set up in front of where we're all facing, so that when we do scripted choreography, we're at least able to see what the audience is seeing and know if it looks fucking stupid or if it looks kind of cool, and then we'll know to keep doing it. So it's all part of that. You're creating the experience, because they can play the CD a million times, but they only buy the music once. We need the bodies in the crowd, come to the show, buy the merch, get into it more, and the music that brings that element out of us the most is the harder rock side. But I gotta say, when we have the chill songs and we're able to do that on stage, and we can take like a fucking break, I can stop sweating.
Different vibe. It's a different.
I have to say, my favorite song so far is Call Sign.
Ooh,
wow.
Nice, good deeper cut. Yeah.
I like that song a lot.
You should check out the music video.
The music video is awesome.
It doesn't get a lot of love, but we worked really hard on the music video. We think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it didn't. We love that song too. And a lot of people will say that's like a song they really love of theirs. But when we did that music video, we were like, this is the coolest thing we've ever done. People are going to love it. And it just never really popped off.
Really, yeah.
So go show it some YouTube love because it can use it.
And,
I will right after this, to be honest.
And fun fact, we shot that in it's green screened, but I asked the principal of my middle school if we could come in on a Saturday and shoot in the abandoned classroom, and she goes, "Don't break anything." And we never had this conversation. I'm like, okay, that's good. I'm fine with that. So the whole thing was shot in a classroom on a middle school campus.
Oh, we had some laughs though.
Yeah,
It was a great time. It was a great time.
What middle school?
We can't talk about that.
You're like, it didn't happen, but I'll tell hundreds of people on that.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Oh man. Abby has a question she wants to ask.
Ooh.
Oh, you have some music in a NASCAR commercial? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please tell that story.
Well, I wish there was a better story.
Yeah.
Um,
It's very transactional.
Someone hit us up and was like, it was a buddy who used to be in a band that we had played shows with, and he's from Philadelphia, and he just was you play a show with certain bands over the years and you just connect with them and you stay in touch forever. And he was like, hey man, like I have a friend who works at like a licensing company, and they're looking for some new music. Can I send them your stuff? And I was like, sure. And they're like, yeah, we like this song. We think it could be used for like sports placements. Do you care if we use it? Sign this. And we're like, okay. And then next thing you know, it was on like NASCAR. And we're like, well, it probably wouldn't be like our first choice, but it did end up on a college football.
Yes. An Arizona State, I think like USC football game.
Yeah.
And a fan of the band, his dad was an Arizona State alum, just watching the game and also a fan of the band. And it was after an extra point was made. They play City Beautiful, and the guy just DVR'd it immediately and then sent it to us. I'm like, oh, holy shit. What?
And that's how you find out. Like, they don't
yeah.
tell you, like, by the way, you're going to be using this thing. Like, you have to just like hope someone notices and tells you, which is lame. They should not do that, because maybe it was used other places too, and we just never know. So.
Yeah. So it's unfortunately not that cool, but
Sign a license away. Hopefully it ends up in like a cool show.
Yeah. I wish like Dale Earnhardt was like, I love this song.
Yeah. Or the OC were still on, and they could just pick up their music and just
that'd be great.
The OC.
Oh man, the OC plays.
It's so Florida to have your song in a NASCAR commercial.
It is Florida as
very
fuck.
much so. Very much so.
That is Florida man 101.
Have you ever gone to Daytona and watched a race?
It's on my bucket list.
I want to go. I haven't been yet. I do want to go to the
I
Daytona
haven't gone
500.
yet, but I would definitely go.
I would
let's
go.
make it a thing.
All right, we can go.
All right,
We'll go
right.
this year. We'll go next year.
Done.
Or this year.
I really want to.
Yeah.
I don't watch NASCAR at all or anything though.
A lot of circles.
The tailgating seems lit though.
That's all you do. It's the tailgate. It's the tailgate and the people watching.
It's like going to Monster Jam. When they have Monster Jam at the Citrus Bowl, craziest tailgate I've ever seen.
I love Monster Jam.
Yeah.
People get crazy for that.
That's funny. Man, so much stuff in this interview has been like, it's like almost fate that we're interviewing you guys, because a lot of shit that's happened like this week that we've talked about, or just like the Orlando Bloom thing. That's fucking weird that your brother specifically hates that guy.
Yeah, he does. There's a vendetta there.
He has a tattoo that says "fuck Orlando Bloom" on it.
Oh man, I would pay for him to get that. It's like his face and it's like crossed out.
Yeah. That'd be his
It's
first tattoo as well.
It's from Lord of the Rings, so he has that like weird ponytail.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the last thing you threw in the trash?
God,
Show us right now.
go look.
My Publix. When was the last time you had a pub sub? You know?
Well, our last question, we're gonna get there. Our last question is, please tell the world how great Publix is.
Oh yeah.
that was the
last.
last. My wrapper is the last thing I threw away, which is why I'm saying. So we'll wait. We'll talk about pub sub.
But remember, you can ask Abby about Publix subs.
So rude. I don't live in Florida any longer.
Oh,
And
man.
I miss Publix subs a lot. And Ryan went to Publix one day and ordered one and mailed me half of it. Not like dry ice and like, here's a treat, just like shoved it in an envelope and mailed it to me.
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
believe it made it there without like leaking mayonnaise.
Oh, it was
Did you eat it?
I pretended to for a photo op and to fuck with Ryan a little bit, but no, because
Did you think about eating it?
That's dangerous.
I
Did it, like,
did.
cross your mind like, is this so good?
The smell, like and they don't deliver mail where I live, so everything has to go through a PO box. So somebody, like, I had to go get in line and say I have a package, and somebody had to go like, go get this thing. And I'm in Wyoming, so it probably took 4 or 5 days to get here. And I feel so bad for my poor puppy.
Yeah.
That was really.
So you thought about eating it and you were like, no, probably shouldn't.
Well, because we were on the phone, I was like, oh, you should get me one too.
Yeah.
I should not. I know better.
Okay, what's your favorite Publix sub then? Like
Italian.
I have to go Italian. Yeah.
Italian all day.
I'm really a big fan of the Ultimate. However,
that's great.
The holiday one they do around Thanksgiving time, the kind of Thanksgiving one is pretty fire, and you can only get it for like 1 month.
The chicken tender.
And chicken tenders is like everyone's favorite chicken tender.
I think that was overrated.
Now, did you get them to chop the chicken and toss it in a sauce?
Yeah, you gotta have them tossed.
That's what I.
This is the play. I know this. I didn't even know this, and an employee said, "Do you want us to cut the chicken and toss it in a sauce?" I'm like, "You can do that."
Phenomenal service.
Yeah,
they'll do anything you want.
They will. So I always request chicken tenders, toss in buffalo sauce, cheddar cheese, toasted. Like it's down and it comes out perfect.
Because if you don't, then what happens is I feel like for some reason it's like eating Cap'n Crunch. Like the chicken is too hard. It like cuts the roof of your mouth.
You need that sauce over.
Sauce, yeah, vital.
Yeah.
Such an educated response.
It really is.
Such a brilliant, smart. The Captain Crunch metaphor is perfect.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm not.
It does. It hurts your mouth to bite into a chicken tender sub if it's too dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Ultimate, and then the holiday Publix sub is
and for the people listening who don't know exactly what they're missing out on, like I have to say, you imagine standing in line at Subway and you know what you're going to get for pretty much the same money. You are getting something that is levels beyond Subway. The care and tenderness that the employees put into crafting the sub and the options you have at your disposal, it just blows Subway out of the water.
That's your pub sub sponsorship.
That's my heart. Yep.
You'll get it.
Public sponsorship. That would be so great.
Subs for a full year or a lifetime.
Yeah.
Sponsor a band that gets sponsored by Publix.
That would, man,
wow,
unbelievable.
Not in Wyoming though.
Not in Wyoming. Wow, that's a hike.
I'm from New England, so we have Shop and Save and Shaw's and Hannaford's are the three.
I had Market Basket.
There's Market Basket too. That's like
Market Basket's your Aldi of the Northeast.
Yeah, or Winn-Dixie.
Don't downplay Aldi.
I like Aldi. Yeah.
Oh man.
A lot of grocery store talk.
Yeah.
Those are in Wyoming.
Yeah. What's the Wyoming grocery store called?
We have an Albertsons still.
An Albertsons.
Which used to be all over Orlando too, but I think they've all moved out of the South.
I think so. Them all out.
And then we have Smith's, which is the Kroger store.
Oh, okay. But it's called Smith's. That's the best name they could come up with. Smith's.
And that's it, because actually that's where I work. Where I live, we have a tiny market.
Oh.
Well, Wyoming sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's all these
It really is. It's like, and they take it for granted. There's just like elk running down the fucking sidewalk, and they pretend like it's not a big deal. It's kind of like lizards for us.
Gators. You see gators.
I'm from Maine, so like people you see moose straight up on the side of the road, but when friends and family come to Florida, they're like, "What the fuck? There's fucking lizards everywhere." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you'll step on them from time to time. It happens."
Yeah.
Oh man. So this should have been a drinking game episode where every time we mention a Florida item or something, so the listeners have to take a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my favorite question. It's an Orlando-centric question. You're on a road trip with famous people from Orlando. Who rides shotgun? Who sits in the back seat? And who rides in the trunk out of Wesley Snipes, Mandy Moore, and Delta Burke?
First, do you know who Delta Burke is?
I don't. That's why
I
I'm
don't think
thinking
so.
trunk.
Yeah, that was.
I was
yeah.
hoping we were gonna go John Morgan. Gonna be completely honest. But
I was gonna say Mandy Moore in the front seat riding shotgun because you
Yeah.
just got to be looking at her the
Yeah,
whole time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's an
where's
issue.
Wesley
And I want
Snipes at?
Wesley in the back making jokes.
he's watching your six, you know.
Yeah, he is. He is. But who's the third?
Yeah,
who's
we had-
the third person?
She's from Designing Women, which was a show in like the 80s, the early 90s maybe,
Trunk.
but she won like Miss Florida and Miss
Oh,
Orange Grove Princess, and then one of the like national level.
We'll put Dan Newland in the trunk too. Then
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
but we could bring John Morgan and put him in the
Okay.
trunk too.
he's riding shotgun in case I get into an
Yeah.
accident. He's got to be ready to
Yeah. So
Newland's
then
in the
Mandy
trunk.
Moore has
Yeah.
so where's Mandy Moore?
sit on his lap.
No,
We like that.
There's enough space up there.
Is he? But John Morgan isn't like famous outside of Florida.
There is
no, they've moved. They're,
They've expanded.
there's-
Yeah, yeah.
If
They
get
are
off the
huge.
plane in Boston, the first thing you see when you get on the highway is a Morgan & Morgan billboard, and I'm like, the fuck? I thought I left Orlando.
Yeah.
That'd be a good sponsorship too, because they get a lot of fucking money.
Oh yeah.
They do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if you haven't checked it out, on I think it's like their Facebook page, they have a segment called John in 60 Seconds, where John Morgan is in his car just talking shit about stuff, and it is hysterical. And he's just being himself. He's not like playing a character. And check out John in 60 Seconds, specifically the episode about Arby's.
Arby's.
Yeah.
Arby's.
He talks about Arby's, and then there's a follow-up where he has to apologize to Arby's, and it's gold.
I have so many notes.
Yeah.
And if you go to Wally's on Mills on like a 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, there's like a 50% chance John Morgan will be there, and he will buy you drinks.
I've been there at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. on
John
the
Morgan
same
there?
Wednesday. We're just going to continue this. What's one surprising thing about Orlando that you guys can tell?
Surprising.
I think what I found most surprising when I moved here, I lived here for about 10 years. The most surprising thing was that no one is actually from here. It's like,
A lot of transplants.
or at least it's very rare. If you talk to 10 people, random strangers, 9 of them, 8 or 9 of them will not be from Orlando. And so it's like, how does this place exist?
Yeah.
Like, how did it ever begin? Because no one's from here. But I'm not from here, and none of us are from here. So
originally.
I don't know about you guys, but
we are.
Yeah.
yeah, you're the 2 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah.
We both don't live there.
I would say when you kind of move away from the main city limits, but you're still in the greater Orlando area, just all of the bike lanes and the openness and the parts of it that kind of make you feel like you're lost in the countryside. Kind of when you go into the Claremont range and you get a little more hilly, and that you experience that a little bit more, but just you don't really assume that that's in Orlando. You kind of just think Disney, theme parks, attractions, all that. But there is nice nature if you just kind of know where to find it.
And another surprising thing that I still loved when I moved here, was that people don't talk about the downtown Orlando nightlife. But as a band who's been in tons of cities and tried to party in tons of cities, Orlando has a bomb-ass downtown nightlife. They close the streets down. Downtown Orlando on a Saturday night, a classic weekend. Let's go.
Yep.
The only things that can rival it are like, it's up there in my mind, like Tampa sucks. Miami, it's like, oh, you want to go spend $1 trillion and be at a club. But like everywhere in Orlando is like, there's something for everybody downtown. Like you want to be a hipster at a hipster bar, you can go to iBar, or if you're old enough to remember Barbecue Bar, which is the best bar of all time.
Or you got country.
Or you go to Saddle Up, or you can go to a nightclub, or you can go to Wall Street and just get a little bit of everything. It's great. And we've been like, Broadway on Nashville's great. And, Bourbon Street, awesome. Like, but most cool cities do not have a cool nightlife like Orlando does. And it's underrated vastly, in my opinion.
I think you're missing one big thing, is that music scene is very good. Something that I didn't appreciate when I was younger, that a lot of great bands will go to Orlando and they won't play the big you know, like you can see someone that you love at the social, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a back booth. I saw tons of bands that were very influential into me being a musician because I saw them at back booth with like 100 people. And then going to see bands at House of Blues or Hard Rock, the bigger bands, it's like there's so many options to see bands, and every band comes here eventually. So that's the thing. Like we have a friends who live in Nashville, and it's like surprisingly like not that many good shows come through Nashville, even though you think they would, because it's so saturated with music that like it just gets overlooked a lot of times. But yeah, Orlando, like if there's a tour that doesn't come to Orlando, it's like, oh, I guess I'll have to go to Tampa or Jacksonville, which is like an hour, 2-hour drive. It's not that big of a deal. Or if you live in, like I grew up in Maine, where it's like no one comes, period.
Abby's in Wyoming.
Yeah.
One was there. I would also say the surprising thing is also how far and how a different world where Disney is compared to real Orlando. You know, like
100%.
where you guys are, I would consider that, you know, like that Conway area, that's to me is Orlando. But when you go outside and you're like, I'm from Orlando, people are like, oh, Disney World. You're like, actually, that's crazy far away, and no one.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
even like I drive, like when I grew up and I came to Orlando, like I thought Orlando was I Drive, Universal Studios, Disney, and that was it. Like this is what Orlando is, and it's like nothing like that. Downtown, I used to live in College Park, super cool part of Orlando, Altamont. You know,
Orlando's gotten a lot better. Orlando's it's almost pains me to say this. Orlando is actually cool now. Well, growing up, and maybe I just didn't appreciate it, but it wasn't as, I guess, accepting of different shit. But again, now that I look back, I'm like, yeah, we grew up going to punk rock shows all the time, and maybe I should have appreciated it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. No, Orlando's got a really cool vibe, and especially I grew up in a small town for the first 20 years of my life, so I really can truly appreciate it. And when I meet people and they lived in Orlando their whole life, and they're like, "Oh, it's so lame here. It's so boring. It sucks." I'm like, "You don't know."
Yeah.
Let's go to Bangor, Maine. Let's spend a week there. See what you think in January.
So what's next for Felicity, the band?
Well, our album came out last week. Which is a pretty big deal because that was, 2 years in the making.
Should have been out last year, but COVID and all that.
We're having an album release show next month. You guys should come. It's at the Abbey. With some amazing Orlando bands. Hungover, one of our personal favorites, and Out of Time with some of our best friends, and Palm Tree Square, and Keep It a Secret. So awesome bands. It'll be awesome, fun punk show. It's our first show since March of 2020. So it'll be 17 months since we played a show. So that'll be a big deal for us.
The momentum is starting to build of shows now. It's now just a matter of playing smart shows as often as we can, and set up whatever touring opportunities can come in early 2022, or maybe it's summer 22, who knows, but just get out there back on the road and let people see and experience the music that we've been waiting so long to put out.
And we're recording the next album right now.
The future is already being recorded, and I would say a year from now, that music would be gearing up to be released as well.
And the album you're speaking of is Dear Universe.
Correct. Yes.
Everyone go buy it, stream it, do it.
Yes, check it out.
Buy it.
Song for everybody on Dear Universe.
You can find it on LimeWire.
Yeah.
Zah has it. Yep. We recorded this record in 2019, and we got the master tracks, like the final. You get to finally listen to it, and we sat right here and we listened to it January of last year,
January 2020.
We were like, let's go, this is our year. And then March, the world music industry shut down, and it's just now kind of opening back up. So we had to sit for a full year, sit on our hands, and just hurry up and wait, make up for lost time.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. You heard it here, folks. Go support hardworking fucking bands like Felicity, who are turning out great music. Go follow them on Instagram. We are Felicity, and go listen to Dear Universe. And also follow Bothering the Band. That's our show. What a great show. Sponsored by Publix, Morgan and Morgan.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
These lonely nights, sleeping in the backseat of the car, reliving fights that broke my heart, bitter words that missed their mark, but things could always get better. Lonely nights, it all came down, crashing in to burn me out, set me free from all these doubts that things will never get better. Let me apologize now, 'cause I've been a dick, short of bullying, or borderline in. I've been down, I keep falling in, I push you out again, you had enough, you think by now, will I get out of this, am I a masochist, did my psychologist help me out, 'cause I projected this, 1,000 messages, into the universe that I want out, I still walk by the apartment to see if you're alright. These lonely nights, sleeping in the backseat of the car, reliving fights that broke my heart, bitter words that miss their mark, but things can always get better. Lonely nights, it all came down, crashing in to burn me out, set me free from all these doubts that things will never get better. I'm overdoing it, I'm overdosing it, you can call it self-sabotage, call it an ambulance, a toxicologist, 'cause I can't find my goddamn pulse, and I'm spitting out the venom now, from bites on an open wound, and I can't stop this infection with the ways I'm trying to. I still walk by the apartment, 'cause I'm not alright. These lonely nights, sleeping in the backseat of the car, reliving fights that broke my heart, bitter words that miss their mark, but things can always get better. Lonely nights, it all came down, crashing in to burn me out, set me free from all these doubts that things will never get better. Trauma checkpoints, my memories, 'cause it's hard to forget the moments that you just cannot believe. Trauma checkpoints, my memories, 'cause it's hard to forget the moments that you just cannot believe. Those moments never leave. These lonely nights, sleeping in the backseat of the car, reliving fights that broke my heart, bitter words that missed their mark, but things could always get better. Lonely nights, it all came down, crashing in to burn me